Hey there folks, Scottsdale Travel Chick sidekick here to give you our complete guide on how to get the most out of a visit to Tombstone, Arizona, the town too tough to die. In this video, we'll cover a bit of Tombstone's history, how to get there and how to get around, the top attractions and sights to see while you're there, and even a couple of bonus areas nearby if you want to extend your trip and are into real ghost towns and copper mines. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with a little bit of history on Tombstone. Most have heard of Tombstone, Arizona, as it's been a focal point of Wild West history and mystique, made famous or infamous by more than 20 movies over many decades. Perhaps the most famous being the 1993 remake movie simply titled Tombstone, with many famous actors like Val Kilmer, Kurt Russell, Charlton Heston, Bill Paxton, and Jason Presley. Tombstone's real history dates back to 1879, when it was founded on a silver mine claim by the prospector Ed Schifflin. The town grew quickly over the next decade as it soon became the largest silver mining town in the state of Arizona and one of the largest towns in the West at the time. In its heyday, Tombstone actually had a bowling alley, 4 churches, 2 banks, 3 newspapers, along with 110 saloons, 14 gambling halls, and numerous brothels. Over time, mining activity faded, but the town has always held fast, and somewhere along the way, it was given the famous phrase, "the town too tough to die." Today, Tombstone is perhaps America's most storied frontier town, where notable characters like Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, Billy Clanton, and John Slaughter once roamed. The town holds many stories, but most were taken to people's graves. However, the most famous story has survived, and it's the shootout at the OK Corral, memorialized many times in movies over many years. Today, Tombstone brings such memories back to life with daily recreations, roaming actors in period garb, and many notable landmarks accurately preserved and nurtured.
No right to talk to us like that. Talk to you anywhere I please. Oh, that's not what I want.
It's authentic and beloved, yet very touristy, but you can't help to have fun in this place. And in this video, we are going to show you how to do Tombstone right and get the most out of your visit. Let's go. How to get there and how to get around. First up, exactly where is Tombstone and how do you get there? Well, let's just say Tombstone is not the easiest place to get to. It's a very small town in the high Sonoran Desert, about an hour and a half or 75 miles southeast of Tucson, Arizona. If you happen to be coming from the Phoenix area, it's around a 3-hour drive or 180 miles from there. Once you get to Tombstone, though, it's easy to get around. All the main sites are within a small 2 to 3 block walking area, with much of that area being off limits to vehicles. There are multiple parking lots on either side of town where you can easily park and walk to the main street area of town. Most of Tombstone's sites and attractions are scattered along that main street, which is called Allen Street. It's the primary historical street, and it retains much of the character that made it famous all those years ago. Here are just some of the top sites you'll find along and near this street. First up is the Tombstone Courthouse and Historic Park. This former county courthouse, built in 1882, was once the site of hangings and other justice metered out back in the day. Today, it's a museum dedicated to the history of Tombstone, featuring thousands of artifacts which tell of Tombstone's colorful past. Next up is the famous OK Corral. Here is where the famous gunfight went down This is pretty much authentic, but now you've got to pay to see the gunfight. Originally a small horse corral, this area was the site of the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral and is now designated a National Historic Landmark. Inside the nearby building, you can purchase combination tickets to tour the area, see some historical buildings there, do some gold panning, watch an actual blacksmith do his thing, and of course, experience a recreation of the actual gunfight. Your ticket also allows you to see a short movie on the history of Tombstone. There's a small $10 fee for all this, and we certainly think it's worth it. Check out our link below our video for details of current fees, shootout times, and booking details. Nearby is also the Tombstone Epitaph newspaper building. This building still houses one of the original newspapers of the day, which broke the news of the OK Corral shootout. The original printing equipment are preserved here, and you can also learn some unique stories of how the Epitaph editor captured the Apache warrior Geronimo and why he also hired the Earps to defend Tombstone. The Good Enough Mine Tour is another cool site just off the main street to the south. And it's one of the original mines that was a key driver in the early development of Tombstone. It was just one of more than 40 mines that dotted the area and made Tombstone one of the largest towns between St. Louis and San Francisco in the late 1800s. Moving up to the next street north of Allen, you can visit the Wyatt Earp Museum House and Statue. See the very home where Wyatt Earp once lived with his common-law wife, Mattie. The house has become a museum and gallery with an impressive collection of Earp's memorabilia. It's currently closed for tours, but it may be open when you visit. Shefflin Hall is a few blocks down this same street and was built in 1881 as a first-class theater and opera house. It was one of the largest of its kind in the Southwest and sat almost 600 people. It was routinely promoted as an upscale alternative to the many other options of ill repute nearby. Back to the main street of Allen, one of those houses of ill repute was the Birdcage Theater. This was once a combination theater, saloon, gambling hall, and brothel. But now it's a museum, and it's said to be haunted. It still bears witness to nearly 200 bullet holes, which are a testament to the unruly behavior of its past patrons. Today, the admission is a not-so-cheap $16.50 to tour this place. Nearby are two more interesting attractions to consider. The Gunfighter Hall of Fame is a small museum, but its collection of old guns, rifles, gunslinger memorabilia, historic clothes, and documents is quite impressive. Admission is $8, but it's worth it if you like this kind of stuff. The Rose Tree Museum is also nearby, and it's a bit unique. I bet you didn't know you could see the world's largest rose tree right here in Tombstone. Well, you can, for a fee of $5, and it includes a small museum on the family history related to this place and its history in Tombstone. Among the attractions around Tombstone, there are a number that offer a combination of food and entertainment. However, the two most famous and historical ones are right across from each other on Allen Street. Step inside Big Nose Kate's to immerse yourself in the past. A bar, former brothel, and entry to one of Tombstone's former silver mine shafts, Big Nose Kate's serves up drinks and dining along with music. Here you can also dress up and take pictures, behind the bar, on the piano, or with a cowboy or saloon girl. And go ahead because it's free. Across the street was the original Golden Eagle Brewery, established in 1879. Today it's called the Crystal Palace and is probably the most popular place in town to spend your money on a meal. Always packed and always something cool going on here. Finally, if you haven't yet had enough of the touristy Old West action, then consider visiting Old Tombstone Western Theme Park, just on the south edge of the Old Town. Here you can see more gunfights, play around a mini golf, pan for gold, book some guided tours of the town, and more. Check out their website for all the details they have on offer. That pretty much sums up all the sites directly in the downtown area, but I'm far from done. There are a couple more Tombstone sites nearby which you should consider. But before I get to those, just a quick shout out here that if you're enjoying this video, please give us a thumbs up, maybe a comment too, or better yet, forward this to some of your friends. And please consider subscribing to our channel to receive more fun, informative travel videos just like this one. And by the way, if you love all things Arizona like we do, be sure to check out our other top-rated Arizona-related guides. Our Ultimate Guide to the Grand Canyon, our Tucson Area City Guide, and the top easy hikes in Sedona, Arizona. Getting back to those other Tombstone sites to consider, one is Boot Hill Cemetery. This place is just west of the main street, and many outlaws are buried here. And no surprise, most of their deaths did not come by natural causes. It's heavily restored and incorporated with a gift shop along with a small entrance fee, but the cemetery is a fun walk around to see some of the tombstone comments. The other site is a little harder to get to, and it's called the Ed Schieffelin Monument. If you remember from my intro, Ed Schieffelin first discovered silver in the area and was the founder of Tombstone. The monument stands in his memorial at the site of his original silver mine claim, and it's northwest of town about 3 miles down a dirt road. Finally, I've got 2 more bonus areas nearby if you want to extend your trip and you're into real ghost towns and copper mines. One is the Fairbanks Ghost Town, about 10 miles west of Tombstone. And this one is easy to do as it's on your way back to the Tucson and Phoenix areas. Fairbanks is an actual ghost town that was once a major hub for the mining and commerce activities of the area, as it was sited along a railroad spur and a river. Here you can visit the remains of a commercial building that was once used as a combination general store, post office, and saloon, see a refurbished schoolhouse, a couple of dilapidated cabins, and hike some short trails to the nearby San Pedro River, along which you can find the town's old railroad trestle, as well as the railroad platform used by the town up until the 1940s. And as a bonus, there are numerous historical placards scattered around telling you about what Fairbanks was like back in its heyday. The other area worth checking out if you have some extra time is Bisbee, Arizona. It's another old mining town about 30 minutes further south from Tombstone, and it's actually not that far from the Mexican border. Established in 1880, it's famous for its Copper Queen mine. But today, it's reinvented itself as an artist community and tourist attraction, with the primary sites being touring the Copper Queen Mine and the Copper Queen Hotel. But there's certainly more to do here beyond this. To get the most out of your visit, though, we'd recommend taking this guided tour along with the mine tour. See the links below our video to easily make these bookings. Well, there you have it, folks. Our ultimate guide on how to get the most out of your visit to Tombstone, Arizona, the town too tough to die. Did we miss any of your favorites? Or do you have a secret tip you'd like to share with others? Please let us know in the comments section below, and please consider subscribing to our channel for more fun, informative travel videos just like this one.
Until next time, see you later.